think of the amazing effect of the decision of Saint Vladimir 1,000 years ago, and approximately a little more, and really 1,000 years approximately after the time of Christ. He sought, it seems, with a true heart, looking for the truth. And we'll hear about this, sending out his emissaries and how they came and took Orthodoxy, the nation, beginning with him, the baptism in Kiev, the baptism of Rus, we call it. And they received Christianity perhaps in a way that no one has received, well, maybe the way we received Christianity, the way we received Orthodoxy as a whole. There is a great advantage for us in our faith, I think, compared to the apostles, compared to all of those in the New Testament. They had a problem. What do I make of Jesus? It wasn't clear. They just didn't have all the information. But we have the liturgy. And what Saint Vladimir received was the whole liturgy. But it didn't receive it as just the liturgy, because the liturgy is the core of a way of life in Christ. It is a way of participation in the life of God. Jesus said, I came that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly. The liturgy embodies the life of God for man. The liturgy embodies the life of the God-man. It is not just information, but it is a knowledge by participation. We enter into a relationship with God, the Holy Spirit. As God, the Holy Spirit, brings to us God the Son. And God the Son brings to us the immortal life of the Father. Seats available here. The Gospel of John, in a particular way, talks about, all the way through, discusses this knowledge by participation. Jesus said, you see, in this passage, which actually I think may only be read with St. Vladimir. I don't know if this text is used anywhere else. John 10, we read John 10, but we always start at verse 9, and this ends at verse 9. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not in by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth out up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber. You see, he's talking about this connection between the shepherd and the sheep and the door of the sheepfold. How do you enter in? And that is what's all involved in this, in the liturgy. Knowledge by participation. It's like the sheepfold is the liturgy, the life of the church, the life of worship and testimony, and hearing God's word and God's commandments and the events that happened in history. He that entereth in by the door is the shepherd of the sheep. In other words, the whole Old Testament prophecy and the plan of God and the purpose of God and the promise of God was a creation, was the door of the sheepfold. And Christ entered in by that door. And we can see that that's the door by seeing the fulfillment of the prophecies of the Old Testament in Christ and in who he is. To him the porter openeth, John the Baptist, and the sheep hear his voice, and he calleth his own sheep by name and leadeth them out. You see, this is knowledge by participation. He calls you by name. He knows you by name. You can enter into a real communication with him. And when he putteth forth his own sheep, he goeth before them, and the sheep follow him, and they know his voice. You see, that's knowledge by participation. We know, as Christians, as baptized Orthodox Christians, we know the voice of our Lord Jesus. You can't tell me what it is. I can't tell you what it is. But I know I hear it. And I know you hear it. We can know what it means. There's characteristics, it's so pure. It's so beautiful. It's so clear. It's so uplifting. It's so merciful. It's so holy. They know his voice. And a stranger will they not follow, but will flee from him. You hear some strange things. You go, ugh. It's a stranger. It's a strange voice. It's not the right voice. Can you say what it is? No, I don't know what I don't necessarily know what it means or what it says, but it's strange. It's not it. For they know not the voice of strangers. This parable spake Jesus unto them, but they understood not what things it was which he spake unto them. They weren't getting it at this time. Then said Jesus unto them, Verily, verily, I say unto you, I am the door of the sheep. You see, that door that he had provided in the Old Testament, that was by the word of Christ himself. He had given that word. He had created the door that he himself walked in, and he is the door. And he is the way for us, and he is the life and the meaning and the center and everything about the liturgy. When we enter into the liturgy, we enter into the life of Christ. I am the door. By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved, and shall go in and out and find pasture. And that's what St. Vladimir did. He heard his voice. His emissaries went to Hagia Sophia, and they heard that voice. And they said, we didn't know if we were in heaven or on earth, because they heard the voice of Christ. And if you follow the truth, you follow Christ. Commit yourself to him. And as we come and participate in his body and blood, let us give ourselves to him, along with all those saints of Holy Russia that followed the way that St. Vladimir, in which St. Vladimir led them, because we live in that same life of Christ. Glory to Jesus Christ.